You've just got a ticket for parking in a permit holder space. Ignore it and things could get a lot worse. The last thing you want is the fine to increase or to have a debt collector come bang on your door. But that doesn't mean you have to pay instantly. Successfully appealing a ticket isn't nearly as hard as many people imagine. I'll show you how. Permit parking schemes exist to ensure that local residents can park near their homes without having to spill over onto nearby roads. Local residents apply for, and often have to pay for, a windscreen displayed permit. So if you're new to a PPS area, you might have to wait until you get your permit before you can park all day long. Often you'll only need a permit during peak hours, but be sure to read the signage carefully, as different areas can have different rules. Whether you think your ticket was fair or not, don't just ignore it. Tickets from PPS or permit parking schemes are controlled by local councils, meaning the ticket you received will be a penalty charge notice rather than the similar sounding parking charge notice that private car parks issue. A penalty charge notice, or PCN, is actually a fine, while a private parking ticket is more similar to an invoice you have to pay. You'll need to decide between appealing your permit holder only parking fine or paying up. It's important to be aware that if you do pay within 14 days of receiving the fine, 21 for some councils, you'll be able to get up to a 50% reduction in your fee. So if you don't actually have a good reason to appeal, you might want to pay sooner. If you feel that the PCN is unfair and decide you do want to appeal, or make a representation as it's often called, then how you receive the PCN will dictate what you do next. Someone from the relevant council will have either given you the PCN in person by leaving it on your car, or you'll have received a letter about it through the post. If you received it in person or found it placed on your car, then you need to make an informal appeal to the council first. Normally it involves writing a letter that details why you think the PCN was wrongly issued. If that informal appeal is rejected, you can escalate your appeal to a formal appeal or representation. You may want to gather even more evidence for a formal appeal. If you received your PCN as a letter through the door, then you won't be able to write an informal appeal and you'll have to skip straight to the formal appeal process. There are some good reasons you may wish to appeal a PCN. Maybe some kind of emergency prevented you from returning to your car on time, or perhaps your car had broken down. You might even want to grab your phone and return to the scene of the crime to check the surroundings. If signs are obstructed or road markings weren't clear, you can photograph it as evidence for your letter. Without a doubt, the hardest part of all this is writing the letter itself. You need to gather up the evidence that you think is in your favour and lay it out clearly for the council to judge. But if you really want to make sure that your appeal is as strong as possible, then one popular option is to consult a solicitor. There are many online solicitors that work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial. One of my colleagues saved £271 on his ticket using their service. I've linked that offer in the description, and if you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd, so thank you.